Hi, guys, and welcome back. Today, I wanted to talk to you about startup verticals or sectors within the startup industry. And it's important to understand these from a wide variety of reasons. So, first of all, it's just good general knowledge to have to understand the difference between what is fintech, what is nanotech, what's insurtech, what are all these different techs that people are talking about. Also, it's important from the perspective of if you are in one of those industries, understanding them because investors have specific startup verticals that they feel more comfortable investing in. That can be because they have experience personally as an investor in that sector. Maybe they're from the insurtech sector or they had an insurtech startup. So they understand how it works. They have connections. They understand the value proposition of those type businesses. And so startup firms, startup investor firms, venture capital firms will oftentimes on their website list the sectors, the verticals that they're very interested in investing in. Also, what investors will do is depending on the vertical that you're in, there is historical data to show how funding will work with those types of verticals and what the trade-off is. So if you're trying to figure out valuations, what amount of equity you're going to have to give up in exchange for capital, you can do some research into these startup vectors and verticals and use them to understand what that deal is going to look like in the first place. So I wanted to run you through some of these verticals and what they are. And in the next episode, I'm actually going to share with you some really good examples of startups in those verticals. All right, so the first vertical I really want to talk to you about is the fintech vertical. And that is a vertical that I know very well. I've had two different startups of my own in the fintech space. And that's because my background is in financial services. So fintech stands for financial technology. And fintech startups are just what I know really well. Again, I had two different startups in that area myself because my background comes from banking. And when we think of fintech, that is what a lot of people think of is strictly the banking sector. But that's not all that fintech startups can be around. So a good example would be a Robinhood, so in a wealth investment or a stock investment app. Those are all fintech solutions. And fintech got really popular a couple of years ago. It's still pretty popular and still tends to get quite a bit of investment. Another area that I want to talk to you about, and I've mentioned it a couple of times already, is insurtech. So this is insurance technology. And these are startups who are innovating around how insurance is provided. Maybe that's in the auto insurance industry, home insurance, and also a little bit of crossover with another vertical we're going to talk about in the healthcare space. So insurtech's a really great place. If you think about the insurance industry, it really hasn't evolved a whole lot in recent times. And so insurtech is very much a growing trend, an area that is getting hot around disintermediating or disrupting the insurance area. Another really cool vertical is nanotech. And if you're a fan of Avengers, then maybe you saw when Iron Man put on one of his most recent suits, it sort of grew across and expanded across his body. That he even comes in and says that's nanotech to one of the other characters. Nanotech talks about the combination of science and engineering and technology, and it deals with nanoparticles. So we're talking very, very small particles. When we're talking nano, we're talking 1 to 100 nanometers in scale. For a reference point, a nanometer is 1/1000th of a meter. So we're talking about really small scale items. And nanotech is really, really cool. It's also very hot right now. There's a lot of solutions out there or startups that are playing in this nanotech space. I expect that will be a place that will continue to grow and be hot for investors. Another one that's near and dear to me is biotech because I used to manage the local incubator, and inside that incubator was a lot of life science and biotech firms. And so biotech is biology based, right? Biology based science dealing with living organisms and solving those problems. It can be medical based, it can be industrial, it can be agricultural. Biotech also covers a wide span of areas. As a matter of fact, all these verticals could be broken down by various sectors. But biotech is also really, really big and an area that's near and dear to my heart. A really cool one that I'm focused on right now is clean tech. So this is probably my favorite vertical right now. These are solutions that are improving environmental sustainability. So think better water access for people across the globe, cleaner air, all those kind of environmental issues that we know we're dealing with right now. Clean tech is trying to solve those. And with clean tech, there tends to be a bit more of a social play, right? So you're trying to solve social problems instead of just trying to make money necessarily. With like fintech, managing people's money, clean tech has a bit of a social play, so it can be attractive to some investors who are very, altruistic. I alluded to health tech earlier. This is specifically disrupting the healthcare industry. We all know that the healthcare industry needs a lot of help. If you've been to the doctor's office, you wait forever, you fill out the same forms you filled out a bazillion times. Health tech is a place I would love to see some really good companies, and I can't wait to share a couple with you. So they're improving efficiency of doctor visits and also how those doctors treat various diseases and issues that people are having. So I think healthcare will also be a place that we will continue to see lots of startups play. And then the last one I'm going to share with you is real tech. If you try and Google that, it won't show up a whole lot. It may not even give you a good definition. So actually, per keyword searches, what people are searching for is real estate tech. So these are startups playing in the real estate space. They may be helping improve how you buy a home, how you buy a commercial piece of property. They may be improving how estimates are done or appraisals are done on real estate. They may improve, I've seen some that are improving how the marketing happens when it comes to selling a home and things like that. So real tech's another really interesting space that I've been watching. It's not quite as popular as some of these others, but I think it will be because, again, this is another area where, there's just not been a whole lot of innovation in the last, call it 50 years. And so, improving that process, digitizing that process of real estate and things like that, I think has a lot of sort of blue ocean ahead of it. So I'm looking forward to seeing the changes there. So that's just a few of the tech areas. PitchBook produced a really good resource. If you go on pitchbook.com, you can Google startup I keep saying vectors, startup verticals, and see some of the other ones. So you have femtech, feminine technology, those types of things. There are all kinds of other tech areas and other verticals, but these are just some of the ones I wanted to call out. These are the most popular of that the investors that I have connection to have been looking at, and I wanted to share them with you. As a reminder, next video I'll share with you, I'll be sharing some examples of startups within these spaces and exactly the problems that they're trying to solve. Thanks a lot for joining me again. Stay safe. Have a great day.